Hello and welcome to Post, the channel where we discuss all things hockey and all teams. Today we're here to talk about what we think are the best players from every single team in the National Hockey League. Now, your list is going to be different than my list. My list is going to be different than your list, so this is a completely subjective exercise. And the real goal here is just to communicate with you guys and get your guys' opinion on who do you think is the best player in each team, because we want you to leave your list down below in the comment section. So we're going to go through these teams pretty quick. We're not going to spend a lot of the time talking about each player. I'm going to try and do it in alphabetical order. So let's start with Anaheim. So my favorite player off Anaheim is Ryan, or sorry, not my favorite player. Who I think is the best player off Anaheim is Ryan Getzlaf. You?
Wow. Yeah, I actually have the exact same pick,
do you really?
Ryan Getzlaf.
I thought you were going to say Perry.
Yeah, I looked at it from the perspective of, okay, if I take this guy out of the lineup, it would have a huge impact on the team. And that's how I based all my selections.
Yeah, well said. Okay, Arizona.
Arizona, Radim Verbata.
Verbata, yeah.
Is it Verbata? Verbata.
I say Verbata?
Verbata.
I don't know.
I'm going with Verbata.
I'm so bad at names, so I'll go with whatever you say. I chose Oliver Ekman-Larsson. I think he's a solid defensive.
He was my runner-up.
Yeah. Okay, Boston.
Patrice Bergeron.
Same here, Patrice Bergeron.
I mean, if you take him away from the Boston Bruins, that entire team will not be the same.
Yeah, he's the best two-way player in the league, let alone on Boston.
Yeah, in my opinion, he's the best two-way player in the NHL.
Yeah.
Without question.
Okay, Buffalo. Who's the best player at Buffalo?
Jack Eichel.
I chose Jack Eichel as well. I wanted to choose O'Reilly, but the skill of Jack Eichel.
Yeah, that's funny because O'Reilly was my runner-up, but I said, Jack Eichel, he's really got age on his side, and to me, every time he's playing, he's just getting better and better and better, and his importance for the Buffalo Sabres is just going to keep going up.
Yeah, his points per game is great. So, okay, Calgary. Best player of Calgary.
Calgary. Boy, I really wish I had sorted this alphabetically. Johnny Gaudreau.
Me too. I chose Johnny Gaudreau as well. I know there's lots of talented and great players on Calgary, but I think Johnny Gaudreau is the best player on Calgary.
Yeah.
Carolina
is Jeff Skinner.
I also chose Jeff Skinner.
Wow, okay, so we're getting into quite a few similarities here.
Yeah.
But yeah, Carolina would be hugely impacted if Jeff Skinner were to ever leave that organization.
Absolutely. Chicago.
Patrick Kane.
This was tough because, there's so many great players on Chicago.
There is.
But I chose Patrick Kane as well.
Yeah, the offense that he brings for the Blackhawks is basically unmatched.
Oh, yeah. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, Colorado.
Nathan MacKinnon.
I also chose Nathan MacKinnon.
Wow, yeah, because to me, he is their franchise player, because they always said, okay, well, we're looking to deal away Duchesne, but McKinnon's the untouchable,
Yeah.
Because MacKinnon, to me, is that all-around player. He can score as well as he can create. He also has that amazing ability. So, it would leave a huge hole.
Huge hole.
If MacKinnon was ever gone, yeah.
Columbus.
Cam Atkinson.
I also chose Cam Atkinson.
Oh my God!
What's going on? We didn't see
normally.
list before
Normally,
this.
we don't always agree, but after the year that Cam Atkinson had this year, I said instantly, okay, year over year, his production has just gone up and up and up. So I'm looking at that continual increase year over year, and that's what made me decide on Cam Atkinson.
Very well said. Dallas.
Oh man, I should have sorted this alphabetically. This is hilarious. Trying to find Dallas on my sheet here. Jamie Benn.
Okay, I chose Jamie Benn as well.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. To me, he solidifies what a captain should be.
Yep.
The way he presents himself on the ice for the Dallas Stars. And come on, he did just win the Art Ross not very long ago. He has that two-way mentality, style of play. He's just that important to the Dallas Stars.
He's a great leader. He'll fight, he'll hit, he'll score, he'll pass. He'll do everything. He's the absolute example of a hockey player you want in your team.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Detroit.
This one was a little tough.
It is very tough. I had a hard time with
Detroit.
But
I ultimately decided on Henrik Zetterberg.
Ah, so did I.
Oh, man. Yeah, this is hilarious.
This is funny.
I almost want to pick Dylan Larkin. There's a part of me that wanted to, just because of how he's developed so quickly, in my opinion, and the speed that he brings to the Detroit lineup is, to me, unmatched in the NHL. I watch him. I shouldn't say that. Next to Connor McDavid, they are the two fastest guys in the NHL. But I ultimately went with Henrik Zetterberg just because of that calm demeanor about him. You never see him get riled up or go after people or any of that garbage. He's just always so calm and just so mature, and that effect is just contagious for the Detroit Red Wings. He is the face of that franchise.
Yeah, his overall game is the best on the team, and Dylan Larkin, like you said, close second probably. He had a bit of a slow year this year, but still pretty good, obviously. Edmonton, Connor McDavid.
Yeah, Connor McDavid.
What do we have to say?
Yeah.
Okay, Florida.
This one I really contemplated on. Actually, Florida was the one I contemplated on the most.
Yeah.
But I ended up going with Aaron Ekblad.
Ooh.
Because to me, I think in several years, Aaron Ekblad's always going to be in the conversation for the Norris. Because to me, his development is just that good. And I think he is going to be the centerpiece for the Florida blue line for years to come.
I was so close to choosing Aaron Ekblad because he is one of my favorite players, if you've seen that video. But I actually went with Alexander Barkov. I love everything about Barkov's game. He's such a talent. I look forward to watching him in the future. LA.
This one was a little tough, but ultimately I had to go with my number one defenseman, Drew Doughty.
Yes.
I love Drew Doughty.
Yeah, well said. Yeah, he's what can you say that's negative about Drew Doughty?
Oh, there's absolutely nothing.
He has played such a complete game.
Yeah. And their blue line would suffer just to no end if Drew Doughty ever left their organization. I mean, come on, he's a big reason why they were winning Stanley Cups.
Absolutely. I went with Jeff Carter. I think he's been extremely consistent throughout his career, even before he was in LA. He's just one of those players that I think is underrated, and is just his numbers are so consistent, it's crazy. Right. So big shout out to Jeff Carter.
Plus that guy on the international stage, unmatched.
Oh yeah, huge.
It's amazing.
Minnesota. Who's the best player on Minnesota?
Minnesota. I ended up going with Granlund.
Yeah,
is who I went with. Maybe that'll shock some people, but when I looked at his year-over-year growth as well, I said, well, to me, he's just going to be getting better with Minnesota.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a young guy, but he's so talented.
He is.
He's going to have a great end to his career.
Oh yeah.
Further in his career, I chose Mikko Koivu. I think he's probably the second best two-way player in the game. He's a great leader. His point production is fantastic over his career. So Mikko Koivu is my best choice. Yeah, maybe a little bit of bias in there. Okay, Montreal. Who's the best player in Montreal?
Carey Price.
Yeah, Carey Price.
Because, we've seen it, right? What happened in Montreal when Carey Price was injured and he was gone? What happened in Montreal, right? They floundered completely. That team, the full backbone of the Montreal Canadiens is Carey Price. Yep. Without Carey Price, Montreal is nothing.
Absolutely.
So
I should have said at the beginning, this does include goalies, obviously, since we just said Carey Price, but, this is titled best players from each team, but Carey Price plays for the Montreal Canadiens. He's a player, even though he's a goalie. Okay, Nashville.
Victor Arvidsson.
Yeah, man, what a great year.
Wow, what a great year.
What a great year.
And year-over-year growth again, and the sky's the limit for this guy. It really is. He surprised me this year, and I think he's going to surprise me as well as countless others again next year. His offense production is just through the roof, and it's that necessary for Nashville if they want to look at potentially coming out of the West again next year. It's going to be riding this guy.
Yeah, well said. I chose Roman Josi. I just think everything he does on the ice is fantastic. He's great defensively. He's such an offensive defenseman. He's communicative with the rest of his teammates and stuff. I love his Roman Josi's game. All right, New Jersey.
This one I contemplated a little bit, not as much as others, but I ultimately went with Taylor Hall.
I did as well.
Yeah, there's a part of me that said, ooh, Camilleri, just because I'm such a Camilleri fan. But ultimately I decided on Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall is the type of offensive threat that New Jersey really needed.
Oh, definitely.
So I think, in part, they kind of won that trade that occurred the other year. I know it shocked me when it happened, because I thought Edmonton may have gotten rid of the wrong guy.
Yeah.
But New Jersey could have really needed him, and I think he's found a strong home there, and his offensive numbers are still, the same. So he's proven that wherever he goes, he's going to have success.
Yeah, very well said. I almost chose Corey Schneider. He had a bit of a down year this year, obviously, but Corey Schneider, if you don't take into consideration the year that just happened, Corey Schneider's numbers are absolutely brilliant. So he's a very talented goalie. Okay, next, the Islanders.
John Tavares.
Was there any other choice here?
Yeah.
No offense to anyone else on the Islanders team.
Come
John
on.
Tavares,
he's a great leader. He's a very mature player, almost beyond his years, even though he's been around in the league for quite some time.
Yeah.
I don't recall once where I saw John Tavares just do something dumb or get mixed up in after-whistle nonsense.
Yeah.
The guy's always Captain Serious to steal from Jonathan Toews, right?
He can score, he can pass, he can hit.
Yeah, he never gets rattled, and he always puts in 110% effort.
Well said. Okay, the Rangers. This one was tough for me.
Yeah, this one I ended up going with Henrik Lundqvist. And to me, I think he could go down as one of the greatest goalies to never win a Stanley Cup.
Yes.
And I mean, just a few years back, to me, Lundqvist was the best goalie in the world. And the Rangers were that close to cashing in on his brilliance.
It was close. He went all the way. Couldn't take down LA. I went with Ryan McDonough. I feel like Ryan McDonough is pretty underrated. He's their captain. He's a great leader. He doesn't put up crazy numbers or anything like that, but he's a great two-way defenseman, and he'll hit. He'll do the physical stuff. I really like his game. Okay, Ottawa.
Erik Karlsson. This one was a no-brainer because to me he is the best offensive defenseman in the world.
Yeah, it's like he's a forward or something.
Yeah, what he brings to Ottawa.
If you look at his statistics.
Yeah, what he brings to Ottawa is unmatched, and he's got that much skill. Regardless of who he was playing for, he would bring that offensive capability to the club, and it's just unmatched. And if he were to ever leave the Ottawa Senators, they'd never be the same again.
Oh, no, definitely not.
Never be the same.
Okay, Philadelphia.
Wayne Simmons.
Ooh,
he is my favorite player.
Almost chose Wayne Simmons.
Well, I think he's the most important to Philadelphia, and he's also my favorite player from the Flyers.
And you think he's the best?
Yes. I love everything that Wayne Simmons brings to the ice. Everything. He is the perfect depiction of what's the best way to say it? The full circle hockey player. There we go. He can do it all. He can score. He can set up plays. He can fight. He does everything.
Yeah, he does.
There's nothing he can't do.
I chose Voracek. I'm a big fan of Voracek. Surprised none of us chose Giroux. I'm not a big fan of Giroux, to be honest. But that's not why I didn't choose him. I do think that Voracek is the best player on the Philadelphia Flyers. Pittsburgh, Sidney Crosby. Do we even need to talk about this?
I think I've spoken about Crosby enough.
Yeah. Okay, San Jose. This was tough.
Brent Burns.
You went Brent Burns? Yeah.
I went with Brent Burns because, he's one of the best defensemen in the world. He just won the Norris. When he's leading almost year after year, always contending for the top guy on the San Jose Sharks in points, I mean, that speaks volumes when he's a defenseman.
Yeah.
I mean, when he's putting up back-to-back 70-plus point seasons, it's hard to dismiss Brent Burns as being that important to the San Jose Sharks.
Well said. I'm a huge Brent Burns fan. I'm wearing a San Jose shirt. Burns' name is on the back. However, I went with Joe Pavelski. I really like Joe Pavelski's two-way game. I think he's a great leader. He can score. I think he's extremely underrated.
He is.
So Joe Pavelski is my pick. So St. Louis, who's the best player of St. Louis?
Tarasenko.
Tarasenko. Another one of those kind of no-brainers. Tarasenko is incredible. His points per game his points per game average is amazing. He's so fast. His shot is so accurate.
Yeah. I think in time Jake Allen could maybe take over that spot.
Very possible. Very possible.
He's really shown signs that he could.
Okay, Tampa Bay Lightning, another hard choice. There's so many great players to choose off.
It was easy for me.
Was it?
Victor Hedman.
Ooh, I chose Stamkos.
Because I wanted to take Stamkos, but he's always injured.
He is.
Poor Stamkos. But Victor Hedman is, to me, I'd probably put him in the top 4 defensemen in the world. Without question. And he's that important to the Tampa Bay Blue Line. And this year, you look at his offensive production as well as his defensive game, it's unmatched, really.
Yeah, he's a great player. Where were we? Toronto.
This one I kind of flip-flopped a little bit. A little. But I ended up deciding on Austin Matthews.
Yeah,
just based off of that rookie campaign, the 40-goal season. The sky's the limit for this kid. If he was able to do that in his rookie season, what's he going to do next year?
It's going to be exciting to watch Toronto for the next 10 years.
Yeah,
I can't believe I'm saying that as a Canadiens fan, but
rebuilt the right way and not rebuilding for, okay, we need to win now. No, they're drafting young talent, they're developing young talent, and it's just a beautiful thing to watch because they're finally doing it the right way.
It is a beautiful thing to watch. Yeah. Vancouver.
This one, I ended up going with Bo Horvat.
A 2-pager going.
I got a 2-pager going here.
Dang.
Yeah. Bo Horvat was my choice.
I went with Bo Horvat as well.
I love that name too.
It's a badass name. Washington.
Nicholas Backstrom.
I also went with
I didn't take Ovechkin.
Yeah.
Who would have guessed that? But no, Backstrom's two-way play is that crucial to the Washington Capitals. Hey, he's not a bad face-off guy either.
Yeah, exactly. His numbers are through the roof. I think he gets overshadowed by Ovechkin.
He does.
He doesn't get as much credit as he deserves.
He has seasons where he's put up more points than Ovechkin.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
This year's a great example.
Perfect example, yeah. Okay, Winnipeg.
Blake Wheeler.
Blake Wheeler?
I love Blake Wheeler. He's my guy.
I like him
Winnipeg
too, but
Jets.
I don't think he's the best player on the Jets. I
Ooh,
I don't think he's
hurts.
better than Line. I don't think he's better than Scheifele, who I chose. I almost chose Line.
Yeah, it was between Wheeler and Scheifele for
Yeah.
me, but ultimately Blake Wheeler is, I don't know, the living embodiment of, that full-dimensional hockey player, kind of like Wayne Simmons.
Yeah.
Blake Wheeler can do it all.
Well, I don't dislike Wheeler. He's a great hockey player, but I chose Scheifele. I don't really have anything negative to say about Scheifele. He's
I don't have anything
another one of those
negative.
guys who just kind of do it all. And
Yeah.
okay, the last team on the list, I believe, is the Las Vegas Golden Knights.
Fleury. Marc-Andre Fleury.
I completely forgot about Marc-Andre Fleury when I was making this list.
I may be classified as biased because, he came from the Pittsburgh Penguins, but I'm sorry. I think Vegas already has it in their head that their franchise is going to be built from Fleury out.
Okay.
And they basically already put him in a position where he's going to be like the face of the franchise. I mean, geez, every article I look at, I see pictures of Fleury wearing a Vegas jersey.
Yeah, exactly.
Or doing something.
He hasn't taken it off yet since that first day he put it on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but to me, he's still a world-class goalie. Yeah, he had some, bad playoff experiences over the last few years, but he really bounced back, and he proved that again this year. And to me, he's going to be the number one in Vegas for years to come.
Who I think is the best player is Riley Smith. I've always been a fan of Riley Smith. I was very sad to see him go from Florida. I was a big fan of Florida for a while. I didn't follow them so much last year because of all the drama that went down with the coaching and stuff. I wasn't happy with that decision. But Riley Smith, I think he is the best player on the Las Vegas Knights.
I want to argue that one.
Kind of a bold pick there. But all right, so that pretty much wraps it up. I don't think we forgot any teams. Hopefully not.
I don't think we forgot any. But
so yeah, like I said at the beginning of the video, I hope you guys can leave your list down below. We absolutely want to know. That's kind of the whole point of this exercise, is to know how you guys feel of who you think is the best player on each team. Everyone's going to have a different list. There's no right or wrong here. It's just completely subjective. So have fun with us and leave your list below. If you're new to Post to Post, we hope you hit the subscribe button and join us here on YouTube. If you like this video, hit the like button. That definitely helps us. And otherwise, we'll see you in the future. Adios.
I knew there was a cough, and I could just hear it in your voice. Oh, fuck, he's gonna cough.
Holy crap! Had a tickle.
Had a tickle. I know.